Have you ever tried to do nothing only to feel anxious or guilty? Maybe you've settled onto the couch for a moment of peace, but instead of relaxing, your mind races with thoughts of what you should be doing. The silence feels heavy, almost uncomfortable, as if you're wasting precious time. That's rest guilt, a quiet shame that creeps in when we choose stillness over striving. It's the nagging voice that tells us we're being lazy, even when our bodies and minds are begging for a break. We live in a culture obsessed with hustle and achievement, where every minute is measured and productivity is prized above all else. In this environment, pausing can feel like failure, as if we're falling behind while everyone else keeps moving. Our worth is measured by our output, our to-do lists, and our busyness. The more we do, the more valuable we seem, not just to others, but to ourselves. Rest is often seen as a luxury or even a weakness, something we have to earn rather than a basic human need. This mindset traps us in a cycle. We work until we're exhausted, then feel guilty for needing rest. The more tired we become, the more we push ourselves, convinced that stopping is a sign of not trying hard enough. Instead of recharging, we worry about what we're not doing, comparing our quiet moments to others' highlight reels. Social media amplifies this, making it seem like everyone else is always achieving, always moving forward. We set impossible standards, no rest until every task is done, leaving us always depleted. The list never ends, and neither does the pressure. This internal conflict turns potential peace into anxiety and self-criticism. The moments meant for restoration become battlegrounds for our self-worth. But what if rest isn't the opposite of work? What if it's not a sign of weakness, but a source of strength and clarity? What if it's the partner that makes our lives more meaningful? Rest can deepen our relationships, spark creativity, and help us reconnect with ourselves and others. Challenging rest guilt means questioning the stories we've been told about success and worth. It means redefining what it means to live a full, meaningful life. It takes courage to push back against the pressure to always be on. Choosing rest is an act of self-respect, a way to honor our limits and needs. Let's lean into the discomfort of stillness and discover what it can offer. In those quiet moments, we might just find the clarity, energy, and peace we've been searching for all along. Productivity is our modern-day idol. In a world that never seems to pause, we're taught to measure our worth by how much we accomplish, how many tasks we check off, and how little rest we allow ourselves. The pressure to always be on is relentless. We greet each other with busy, as if exhaustion is a badge of honor. It's almost a competition. Who's more overwhelmed, who's juggling more, who's running on less sleep. If you're not busy, you're seen as not doing enough, not valuable. The quiet moments, the pauses, are viewed with suspicion, as if rest is a sign of laziness or lack of ambition. This belief is so ingrained we tie our self-worth to packed calendars and endless hustle. Our schedules become a reflection of our identity, and we fear the emptiness of a blank space. Social media amplifies this, with rise and grind posts and stories of sleepless entrepreneurs. We scroll through feeds filled with people celebrating their all-nighters, their relentless drive, and we feel the pressure to keep up. We join the race, fearing we'll be left behind if we slow down. The world seems to reward speed and constant motion, so we push ourselves harder, even when we're running on empty. But this constant striving is unsustainable and comes at a high cost to our mental health. The more we chase productivity, the more we risk burning out, feeling isolated, and losing touch with what really matters. Our nervous systems stay in fight or flight, making us reactive and less creative. We become trapped in a cycle of stress, unable to access the calm and clarity we need to thrive. We lose sight of our well-being, numbing ourselves with busyness to avoid vulnerability. The constant activity becomes a shield, protecting us from uncomfortable emotions and difficult questions. The hustle distracts us from confronting our fears and insecurities. We fill every moment to avoid the silence that might reveal what we're really feeling inside. But by always performing, we miss out on real joy and connection. We forget how to be present, how to truly listen, and how to let ourselves be seen for who we are, not just what we do. True belonging and authenticity come when we have the courage to slow down, when we give ourselves permission to rest. We rediscover our creativity, our compassion, and our sense of purpose. The worship of busy is a defense mechanism, but it's one we can choose to leave behind. We can decide to value presence over productivity and connection over constant achievement. We can reclaim our time and our sense of self. By setting boundaries and honoring our need for rest, we create space for what truly matters. The first step is recognizing that our value isn't measured by how much we do. It's about how we show up for ourselves and for others with intention and care. It's found in how fully we show up for our lives, in the moments of connection, joy, and authenticity that make life meaningful. The pressure to be productive is everywhere. At work, in school, and even among friends. It's a constant hum in the background of our lives, shaping our choices and our self-worth. Society tells us more is always better, more work, more achievements, more hustle. We're encouraged to fill every moment, to always be striving for the next milestone, as if slowing down means falling behind. Opting out feels risky, like we'll be labeled lazy or unambitious. The fear of missing out or being judged keeps us locked in a cycle of constant activity, even when we crave a break. Social media magnifies this, showing us curated highlight reels of constant achievement. Every scroll can make us feel like we're not doing enough or that everyone else has it all figured out. We compare our real lives to others' polished moments, fueling anxiety and rest guilt. Hobbies become side hustles, downtime becomes leveling up, and even our relaxation is measured by productivity. The joy of simply being gets lost in the chase for more. We forget what it feels like to rest without guilt, to enjoy something just for the sake of it. Burnout is normalized, exhaustion seen as proof of hard work. We wear our tiredness like a badge of honor, even as it drains our energy and creativity. We ignore our body's signals, chasing external validation. The cycle continues, and we rarely pause to ask what we truly need. Breaking free means unplugging from the noise, curating our digital feeds, and setting boundaries. It's about reclaiming our time and attention for what really matters. We must remind ourselves that what we see online isn't the full story. Real life is messy, imperfect, and beautiful in ways that can't be captured in a post. The real measure of a good life is how it feels, not how it looks. True connection, laughter, and peace can't be quantified or compared. Choose your own definition of success, and let rest be part of it. Give yourself permission to slow down, to savor the present, and to find joy in simply being. Our bodies aren't machines. They need rest to function. Constant hustle keeps us in a state of chronic stress, flooding us with cortisol. Over time, this leads to real health problems: high blood pressure, poor sleep, weakened immunity, and more. We become tired and stressed, but push through with caffeine and longer hours, ignoring warning signs. Lack of rest impairs our thinking, creativity, and problem-solving. Ironically, the more we hustle, the less effective we become. Treating rest as weakness erodes our self-trust and well-being. Learning to rest without guilt is self-preservation, not indulgence. True strength is knowing when to stop and recharge. Our best work and our best selves depend on it. Hustle culture sells us a myth that relentless work is the only path to success. We glorify sacrifice and burnout, ignoring the many who break down along the way. The truth: sustainable success is built on rest, creativity, and strategic effort, not exhaustion. The grind leads to diminishing returns. More hours, less quality, less joy. There's nothing noble about sacrificing your health or happiness for work. The myth convinces us our worth is conditional, tied to achievement. We lose touch with who we are beyond our jobs. To break free, we must question the belief that suffering equals strength. Real dedication is showing up with focus, then stepping away to recharge. Let's stop glorifying the grind and start celebrating a more human, sustainable way to live. Success isn't about endless hustle. It's about balance, boundaries, and well-being. It's time to rewrite the story. We often mistake rest for laziness, but that's a product of hustle culture. Rest isn't the absence of work. It's an active process of renewal. It can be a walk, a creative hobby, a deep conversation, or mindful breathing. Dr. Saundra Dalton-Smith describes 7 types of rest: physical, mental, sensory, creative, emotional, social, and spiritual. We may sleep enough, but still feel drained if we neglect other types of rest. Rest is about restoring the energy we've depleted, not just doing nothing. By redefining rest as essential self-care, we strip away the guilt. Rest is a lifeline where our best ideas and deepest connections are born. Overcoming rest guilt is a practice, not a one-time fix. The first step is giving yourself permission to rest. Your worth isn't tied to productivity. Schedule rest like you schedule meetings and treat it as non-negotiable. Protect this time fiercely. It's a commitment to your well-being. During rest, practice mindfulness. Notice guilt or anxious thoughts, but don't judge them. Acknowledge them, then gently return to your restful activity. Start small. Try 5 minutes of doing nothing, just breathing. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but that's okay. The goal isn't perfect relaxation, but building the habit of choosing rest. Each small act of permission chips away at guilt. Over time, these moments add up to a lasting habit of restorative rest. Remember, the world won't fall apart if you pause. You're building resilience, not losing ground. Stillness is a skill, and it's worth practicing. The goal isn't just to rest more, but to live more wholeheartedly. When our worth isn't tied to productivity, we can work with passion and rest with joy. Rest is part of a larger ecosystem of well-being woven into our work, relationships, and spiritual lives. It allows us to show up as our best selves everywhere. Setting boundaries is key, saying no, turning off work after hours, and communicating your needs. Boundaries protect your integrity and energy. Living wholeheartedly is a journey, not a destination. Some days hustle culture wins, but meet those moments with compassion. Every time you choose rest, you strengthen your sense of fulfillment. A meaningful life is built from these small, brave choices. We're at a crossroads. Keep chasing burnout or choose a new way. The quiet revolution starts with honoring our need for rest. It's a rebellion against the always-on culture, a declaration that our worth is inherent. When you rest, you model a healthier way for others, your kids, colleagues, and friends. By healing your relationship with rest, you help shift the culture. Reflect, where does rest guilt show up for you? What's one small step you can take today? Maybe it's leaving work on time, taking a real lunch break, or just breathing deeply for 2 minutes. The solution isn't another productivity hack, it's subtraction, not addition. Letting go is a radical act. In doing less, we become more creative, connected, resilient, and true to ourselves. The revolution is quiet but powerful. It starts with the simple, brave decision to rest.